signs in the sun, moon, and stars. Here we are with a MAZZAROTH update. Found something for the morning of the 17th, which is tomorrow morning. This happens at 5:30 a.m. Pacific time. You can adjust your times according to where you live. Here we go. What we're seeing first is the moon and the asteroid Vesta in the constellation of Cancer. You can see that. The moon and Vesta in Cancer. As we scroll over the horizon, you'll notice that Sirius, the dog star, is rising. This is tomorrow morning. Let's take a look back. And you can see how before the sun rises, the moon and Vesta are in Cancer, looking east, just to the left, just to the right of due east. You'll see Sirius rising in the dog star, the belt of Orion pointing right at it. You'll also see Venus directly above. The bright and morning star will be in Gemini. These are all signs to the bride. The bride being in Gemini shows Venus has always had a dual nature. A feminine sign, but is also the sign of the bright and morning star known as Christ. To a MAZZAROTH watchman, this would mean the body of Christ, or the bride of Christ, having a feminine aspect. As we go over to the moon, we see the moon in Cancer. This is all at right before sunrise. The moon and Vesta. If you have not done your studies in the Vestal Virgins, that will help. You can also do a study on Vesta from a MAZZAROTH perspective. That will give you another perspective of information on how all of these are great signs in the heavens. So what we're going to do next is look at our alignment of the meridian and show you the following sign. So this sign to me starts at 5:30 a.m. Pacific time with the heliacal rise of Sirius. I believe yesterday or the 15th was the first day of sighting. Did not have anybody report back, so I had no way of visibly sighting this. But as you can see here, Sirius is rising before the sun. 5:30 a.m. Now let's bring in the meridian. And see the next sign alignment. Here comes the meridian. I believe it's 12:16. At 12:16 p.m. we find the moon directly over the line that goes through Persepe, the beehive cluster. Let's go into Persepe, and we can see how this is the beehive cluster. This beehive cluster, from a MAZZAROTH perspective, has been seen as the multitude, the innumerable seed, the resting place, the sheepfold. Many, many, many different ways of showing how Cancer, being the larger sheepfold, that there is a place within the larger sheepfold for the special sheep, and that is the beehive cluster. So the moon aligning with the beehive cluster on the same day that we see the moon and Vesta in Cancer as Sirius is rising are all great signs to us that are looking for the escape of the bride and the great wedding feast. We see the sun, the bridegroom, in the constellation of Leo, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, waiting for his bride that is now in the sheepfold and aligning with Persepe, the beehive cluster, at 12:16 p.m. tomorrow, August the 17th, on the morning that the moon rises in Cancer. We also find the dog star Sirius rising. These are all signs to the brides. Signs in the sun, moon, and stars.